All right, folks, grab your mugs because the OSR space just got a wee bit spicy. Labyrinth Lord 2E dropped last week. A big moment for anyone who cut their teeth on BX or the original Labyrinth Lord back in the late aughts. But in response, DragonSlayer suddenly slashed its PDF price from $30 down to $9.99, matching Labyrinth Lord's $10 price tag. That's not a coincidence. That's two OSR titans stepping into the same arena. So today, we're digging deep. Not a surface skim, and we're digging into what these two games actually are, how they differ, who they're for, and which one hits the table better depending on your style of play. Roll initiative, folks. This one is going to get interesting. Let's start with context, because that's where the story gets juicy. Labyrinth Lord 2E is brand new. It's hot off the digital presses. This is Dan Proctor revisiting the game that helped kick the early OSR movement into gear back in 2007. A lot of material here is updated or reused from the original Labyrinth Lord and AEC, Advanced Edition characters. So, if you've played Labyrinth Lord before, you're going to see familiar faces. Brownies, Cyclops, burglars. It's BX with some whimsical Proctor flavor. Meanwhile, DragonSlayer, which dropped earlier, came out swinging with a prestige book attitude. Giant, easily cover, XTSR artists, almost 300 pages of AD&D-inspired goodness, and it originally priced itself like a prestige book too. $30 for the PDF. But right after Labyrinth Lord 2 launched, DragonSlayer dropped its PDF price to $9.99. That's a straight-up market pivot. These two games are now directly competing for the same space. The modern OSR Retroclone you're actually going to play. That's what we're looking at. So let's compare them the way the Tavern does. Honestly, with a side of sarcasm when warranted. So let's look at presentation and usability. Labyrinth Lord 2E looks and feels like classic BX. It's clean layout, strong readability, a lot of early TSR energy. You get black and white art from folks like Poag and Ziesler. Charming, weird, gritty. OSR is hell. I'll grant you that. It's easy on the eyes during play, and all the rules are spread out exactly where you expect the BX phone to put them. The downside? Well, because some content is reused from Labyrinth Lord 1E, parts of the book don't feel new. If you've played Labyrinth Lord for years, you'll recognize entire spell entries, tables, monster blocks, with only slight modern cleanup. DragonSlayer. DragonSlayer is the opposite. It's dense and flashy, but clearly aiming for the AD&D spiritual successor feel. Full-page pieces, detailed illustrations, lots of XTSR talent. It looks like a book that belongs on the shelf between the 1E Player's Handbook and the Rules Cyclopedia. Usability-wise, it's thick. You're not flipping through this at the table without feeling it. It's gorgeous. Let me repeat that. DragonSlayer is gorgeous, but it's not minimalistic. Verdict on this one? Labyrinth Lord wins for quick reference and approachability. DragonSlayer wins for sheer visual impact and table inspiration. So now let's move on and talk about the art, because this might be the biggest immediate difference between the two books, and it's not so. Labyrinth Lord 2E goes full classic OSR. Black and white line art, quirky proportions, that zine adjacent early TSR vibe. Some pieces absolutely hit the mark and they ooze charm. But let's be honest. A chunk of the artwork is reused from Labyrinth Lord 1E and the AEC. It feels familiar, sometimes too familiar, because you've already seen it. It's nostalgic, but it's not going to shock or impress. DragonSlayer, on the other hand, totally different league. You've got a Jeff Easley cover setting the tone before you even open the PDF. Inside, you're treated to work by ex-TSR greats like Darlene, Diesel, Hot. These pieces are polished, dramatic, and fully realized fantasy illustrations. Some of them look like they were ripped straight out of Dragon magazine circa 1987. If Labyrinth Lord 2E looks like your well-loved BX rulebook, DragonSlayer looks like the deluxe hardcover you wish TSR had printed. I'm not going to lie. Purely in terms of art quality, DragonSlayer runs away with it. It doesn't make it a better game. But if you judge books by their covers, DragonSlayer has the advantage. So, moving on. Character options. Labyrinth Lord 2E. It sticks to race's class, but with expanded options, you get brownies, cyclops, hobfolks, because apparently halflings are, I don't know, distasteful. Burglars. Okay. And of course, your classics. Clerics, fighters, wizards. You know the deal. Simple classes, clean, very BX, and truthfully highly playable. Perfect for OSR newcomers and veterans who want quick characters. But now I happen to like the racist class model, but you need to accept the racist class model. Some love it, some hate it. I've seen it in the videos I've done. DragonSlayer. DragonSlayer goes full AD&D with some BX roots. Race and class are separate, and you get subclasses. Fighter, Barbarian, Paladin, Ranger, Cleric, Druid, and Monk. Magic user, Illusionist. Thief, Assassin. And races, the full lineup, including half-elves, half-orcs, and Cyclopsmen. DragonSlayer's characters feel more customizable and varied. But with that comes a bit more complexity. So if you want fast and iconic, Labyrinth Lord 2E. You want deep and flexible? DragonSlayer hands down. Spell lists and magic. BX spells for Labyrinth Lord 2E. They're clean, short, punchy. Spell descriptions are rarely longer than a paragraph. There's a cursed scroll table. That's probably what's our standout. Nothing surprising, but everything works. DragonSlayer magic. It's almost the opposite approach. The spell list is huge, over 50 pages, including high-level A&D style spells, and far more detailed description. This feels like a spell book you could base an entire wizard campaign on. So, Labyrinth Lord 2E. Speed, DragonSlayer, substance. So I'm just going to take a little aside and say if I was going to run a pickup games, probably Labyrinth Lord 2E. If I was running a campaign, at this point, I'm leaning toward DragonSlayer. So let's move on. Monsters, treasure, and magic items. Labyrinth Lord 2E, classic BX style monsters, clean, readable, no wasted space. Magic items also stick to the BX tradition, but the standout is sapient swords. You got motivations, they got wills, they got alignment clashes, pure OSR flavor. DragonSlayer has pages of monsters and magic items. Magic gear includes rune stones, intelligence swords, detailed wands and rods, and a lot of AD&D style weirdness. So, Labyrinth Lord 2E, clean and classic. DragonSlayer, big and crunchy. Rules, philosophy, and playstyle. Labyrinth Lord 2E. Pure OSR. Rulings over rules, dangerous exploration, clear dungeon procedures, fast to run, easy to teach. It nails the BX experience, straight a bit from its roots. DragonSlayer feels like somebody asked, what if AD&D got a modern layout and someone trimmed the fat? It's certainly OSR at heart, but it's a little crunchier. It's got some subsystems. Labyrinth Lord 2E, procedural excellence, DragonSlayer, AD&D clarity without the AD&D chaos. So, now we come to the important part, right? Which one should you play? Now let's cut to the chase. Labyrinth Lord 2E, if you want that BX simplicity, you value table usability, you like quick characters and quick rulings, and you want classic OSR dungeon play, choose DragonSlayer if you want AD&D style depth. You love lots of spells, items, and classes. You want beautiful, second to none, inspiring art. And you like big, meaty rulebooks. Both PDFs are sitting at $10. So the real question is, what flavor of OSR do you want? Because neither choice is wrong. Both bring something special to the table. Sound off in the comments. Are you Team Labyrinth Lord 2E, Team DragonSlayer? Maybe you prefer the classic Labyrinth Lord? Or you're like me, reading both, stealing from both, playing whatever the hell you want? Tomorrow, I'll talk about the rules that I would steal from both of these editions. Hit like, hit subscribe, and if you are interested in picking up either or both of these, check out the show notes, check out the pinned comment. There'll be links to Drive-Thru-RPG. Remember, at the Tavern, there's always room for another Retroclone. Cheers, folks. I'll catch you later. God bless.